guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Obadiah and we are happy to have you here today. If you're new here, welcome, and please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so that you know whenever we upload new content. So today I have my husband here with me, and we have a few of our subscribers asking about how we've dealt with our in-laws over the years. So we shared a video that talked about 7-year relationship in marriage. So that's when we had those questions coming in. Okay, so Bennet will talk and I'll chip in whenever. That's what I always do. Anyways. All right, Ben. So how have you managed your in-laws up to today?
Well, my in-law has been giving me food.
So you're the wrong person to be asked. You've been enjoying too much.
I've been enjoying my in-laws food, and so I'm the wrong person to ask. But that's just by the way. So we have had great relationships with our in-laws. However, there are a few things I think that we've done that has helped us even to have the good relationship with them.
Has helped us.
Well, if it didn't help us, we'd have been fighting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think number one, your spouse comes first. Both of us are one, and we have to honor our parents. We'll talk about honor in a few minutes here. But it's important we understand that in the book of Genesis, we are Christians, so we look at things from the biblical point of view. The book of Genesis, chapter 2, I think verse 24, it talks about a man leaving his father and mother and cleaving to his wife. And the two of them become one. So it's not about you fighting with your in-law or me fighting with my in-law. If there is a fight, it's you and I going through it. So it's important we establish that fact that both husband and wife are one. Are one. And if there's an in-law problem, both of you have to deal with it together and not just one spouse. Number two, I know a lot of people, especially those who have very good relationship with their parents, love to share a lot about their marriage, about their spouses with their parents, which to some extent is okay. However, you should know that in most cases your parents or the in-laws know as much as you tell them. So if I go tell my mom a lot of negative things, the fact that she has been beating me.
I'm not beating you. She beats me. Like, look at your muscles.
I'm just kidding. If I go tell them, tell my mom negative things about her, that's the perception she's gonna have in her mind. And that might translate when she's relating to her. So she might, react in certain ways which Obi might not like, and then there's going to be a fight there, or we are going to say, why is she behaving that way, and she's a bad in-law and stuff like that. So we have to be cautious about the information we give them about our spouses and our family.
Yeah, and to add to what Bennett just said, so what happens is anytime you share information, well, if it's a good information, that's fine. If your spouse is doing the best, I think the best thing to do is to share the good information. But if you're actually having problems, it's always good to have a couple or a counselor for your marriage. I mean, I'm talking about Christian counselors or couples that have been married for long. In that case, when you share bad information with them, you know that that kind of information is secure. But if you go and tell your in-laws, and we are talking about parents, but they are also sister-in-laws, they are brother-in-laws. Anytime you share bad information about your spouse with your in-laws, guess what? It's in their head. They never forget. But your spouse, maybe you and your spouse would have resolved that issue and moved on. But they will still be stuck in that state of anger or understanding that you're a difficult person and you're causing problems. They never really get over it. So it's always best to try to avoid sharing those kind of information with your family, so that at least if you have a counselor, talk to the counselor instead of telling your mom that your husband is a bad man.
Unless the in-law is that person who is a very objective and understands.
They've proven over the years that they are reliable and that they are people that wouldn't pick side.
And if possible, it's important that you stay in a different house. I know sometimes when we're getting married, in order to save cost and maybe due to situations at the time, we might have to spend some time in our parents' homes, which is fine for a period, but always have a plan to move to your own home. The reason is, you know, when you are living with your parents, they just
still see you as a child.
Yeah, and they just they have a checklist, right? Okay, why didn't she wake up early? Why didn't she do this? Or she doesn't clean? Or meanwhile, she might have, or he or she might have their own schedule on when they do stuff. But you know, it's always a dicey situation. So it's always best to get your own place where you can build your family in peace.
Yeah, I think what Bennet is trying to say is create boundaries. I think so far all the things that we've said really is to create boundaries, and the boundaries could be physical boundaries, as in moving from your parents' home when you are married, and if possible, I mean, of course there are situations that really calls for you to be under your parents' shelter for some time, but I think it's always best to work towards moving away from them. So if possible, just work towards that. You could be under one roof. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big, nice place. Just a small place, just so that the two of you can actually plan your life together. I think that's one of it. So the boundaries it should be physical boundaries. And also it could be verbal boundaries. I mean, as many boundaries as you can create, as much as you're being nice to them and not, you know.
Yeah, and with all this being said, it's not like you're cutting off your parents or in-laws. You need them.
At all. No.
You know, you need them, you need their help, you need their support, and they also need you. So you're not cutting them off, but you're just creating that healthy boundary so that, I mean, both of you, the couple and the parents, can continue to live peacefully and have a good relationship. I think that leads to the third point. Honor your parents, honor the in-laws. I said earlier on that both couple, husband and wife, are one. So both of you should make a conscious effort to honor the parents, to honor the in-laws. Sometimes that could be the source of the problem, where
there's disrespect.
You know.
Just to add on to what Ben is saying, you know, sometimes we appear to know it all. Sometimes we have in-laws who might not be as educated or as exposed, or as, you know, the things that we think we have experienced, they might not have experienced that, and therefore because of that we might be disrespectful to them, but maybe we've not noticed that we are being disrespectful to them. But I mean, based on our actions, based on the way we talk when they are talking to us, how we respond to them, it might be utter disrespect to them.
And you know, it's up to us, you know, the couple, to stand for our marriage, and we just have to stand for the marriage and let them know, you know they have the best in mind for you, your career, your marriage, and all that. So this is how we should go about things. This is how it's going to work, so that we can be at peace. I can be at peace in my marriage, and we can be at peace with you, and we can serve you, we can honor you, we can help you even in your old age. Not all of them are going to, you know, accept this, but you have to stand for your marriage, and even if they don't accept it, continue to honor them, continue to help them, continue to do the things you have to do, but stand for your marriage. Make sure you and your spouse are happy, and continue to honor the parents and in-laws.
And to add to what Ben said, standing up for your marriage is sometimes when maybe your parent is being disrespectful to your spouse, and it's quite obvious. I mean, you being an objective person, you realize that no, what is happening is not right. What you have to do as a spouse is to talk to your parents and not allow your spouse to do that. Because if, let's say, my mom is being disrespectful to my husband, it's up to me to handle my mother, and I mean, talk to my mom, to have reason with her, so that, you know, that kind of problem will be resolved, other than just allowing my husband to go straight to my mom, because that way she will feel attacked. So I think the best thing to do is, as you're standing for your marriage, do it in love and in respect, but as always, stand for your marriage, because your marriage comes first. And I think sometimes too, there's always more problem when maybe our in-laws, like especially our parents, maybe when they lose their spouse. that's when it becomes very because at that point they are old, they might not have as many friends around. Then you, the child, now becomes like the only family or the only contact person that they have. So then when it happens like that, then your spouse too might be wanting or needing your time. Then it's like now you're fighting with spending time with your parents and your spouse, and now there's chaos. And sometimes it's up to you to just figure it out and understand that your spouse comes first. And as much as you do, no matter how much time you spend with your mom, if you tell her that your family comes first, yes, she might not like it the first time, but you'll be amazed. Eventually they'll actually accept it, that okay, your family comes first, even though you still respect and honor them as in-laws.
And I guess in conclusion, in some cases the in-law or the parent might be right regarding whatever the situation is. And if that's the case, talk to your spouse. If you cannot resolve it, get somebody, a third party, not the parent, a third party to help step in and help out. Because the fact that your spouse comes first doesn't mean they are always right.
They have to be right all the time. Because sometimes they are just being disrespectful.
Exactly.
Your parents, and you shouldn't allow that. So I think that's true. All right, so I think that's what we have for this particular topic. If you have any questions, please do out to. We are actually enjoying some of the questions. We are here to answer them because we need to figure them out. But some too, we've actually experienced that, so it makes it a bit easier for us to answer. So we will continue looking out and waiting for you guys to ask more questions. And as usual, leave comments. Just leave some comments in the comment section and ask us whatever you want us to do next. And thank you so much for joining us. And please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification. All right, bye guys.